They should be able to just back it out.
But again, I was just being me.
You know what I'm saying?
How I play the game.
This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me,
Okay,
sure.
well,
Undercover.
I'll call you.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Touchdown.
All
Vershawn
right,
Jackson.
that's it. December was a new grandson.
The touchdown. Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley,
Right.
who
Gotta go.
last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number
Hey, Mark.
43.
Jake Bakovic.
Don't turn the show
Coming
on.
at you live from the Coppels Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
Oh. Yeah. What's going on with that guy on the screen? Look like a storeway. Welcome to the ticket. 93.7. Can you hear me, Captain? Well, I think he's froze. Welcome to the ticket 93.7. I'm Terrell Farley, the black shirt, and I got Bach over there, and we're with the captain. He's kind of, I don't know what's wrong with him right now. He's frozen.
There he
Back
is.
room.
Yeah,
That back room ain't gonna work.
Yeah, you're the
Can y'all hear me?
guy.
We can hear
Yeah,
you.
we
The
can
back
hear
room
you.
ain't gonna
Hey,
work.
welcome to
The back,
Hey, BJ.
the back room ain't gonna work. I'm gonna go outside because the back room,
Welcome
the
to
back room ain't gonna work.
Hey,
What?
welcome to Bach in the black shirt featuring the captain. We gonna check. We ain't seen you in so long. We don't know if you're coming back, man. When you coming back?
Hey man, I ain't been gone that. I have not been gone that long.
It feel like
It's
a
only
week.
been 3 days.
Oh,
It's
man,
been
it
3
feel like a
days.
week. Yeah, man. We you gotta
Dude,
bless us.
tell
with
me,
your
tell me
presence.
about it.
You gotta bless us with
Hey,
your presence.
don't leave. Listen, leave my good sense sandwich alone.
Oh no! You're not gonna make it. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, well,
Me
you
and
see
Bob-
where I'm at.
Me and Bach gonna share that today. Me and Bach got dubs on that.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm gonna need my sandwich.
Oh, it's one
I'm
in
gonna
there
need
still
it.
for you. We're gonna leave that one in there for you.
You think you can bring it up here to me?
That's hey, come on, man. You in a restaurant. What do you mean save your good sense sandwich? Man, that's greedy, man.
I went with the restaurant, man.
Come on,
Look at
man.
this stuff.
That's bull.
I need a plug in too, because I don't know my camera might die out on us here.
Come on, man. You being greedy with that one, man. I just think that's wrong, VJ. Save your good
Terrell
sense.
Farley is furious.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
that
that?
was good.
What's that workout diet plan you're on? You're looking better every day we see you.
Oh, no
I'm
sleep,
just-
no eat.
Tell him again, black shirt.
No sleep, no eat.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I do. I might go like 3 days and eat like 2 meals, and I lose like 4 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
So
Just get one big meal a day, I guess.
that's it. That's
Yeah,
all
you can't eat. You know, you can't eat. Yeah. Come down here right now, Jackson Fair Deals. We got breakfast, brunch, lunch, and dinner, and supper if you gotta have it. That's where we're at right now. I'm broadcasting live from here. And listen, I don't know how much you can see. Right? Y'all can hear me okay?
Yeah, we can see a little bit.
Hold on. Thank you, sir. Lock myself out. I got the key though. Yeah, so it's kind of what we're doing in here, y'all. I see that. Why ain't it on YouTube? What's going on? Why ain't YouTube on? So here we are. 21. Hey, no, you gotta change that one to my show. Look at me. I'm just sitting here quick. We got the captain on. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Okay, go to.
That's a good little table.
Okay, go over. Where am I? Hey, why ain't the stream up?
It should be going right now.
Look at that. No string.
Double check.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out a little bit later. I'm gonna get back onto the show. But what the heck is going on over in the sports world?
Oh man! So one thing we got to say right quick is you got to get a pick with the Johnny the Jet. Saturday tomorrow, April 15th from noon till 2. Best of Big Red, 321 North 8th Street in the Haymarket. Free pick with Johnny and the Heisman. 50th anniversary Heisman ball available. Free autographs on store-bought balls, mini helmets, hats, and more. Ooh, can bring one personal item, $20 to sign. Johnny Jet tomorrow, the Best of Big Red.
You going?
I might ride down there and see the Jet, man. I ain't seen Johnny in a minute.
Noon until 2 again.
I actually was telling this funny story about the first time we met the Jet when I was in college. We was kind of loud. We was loud at the training table one day. I don't know if you was with us, VJ, but we was real loud. And this guy came over and said, "Hey man, y'all need to be quiet." We was like, "Man, who are you?" And then he left and walked off. And then somebody came and told us, "Hey man, that's Johnny the Jet Rogers." So that's the first time we met Johnny because he was going back to school when we was in college. Remember?
Yeah. Well,
So
he got his degree.
Yeah.
we
So
were
that's
there.
the first time I met Johnny back in '95.
Johnny smacked you around?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, I've got to really be self-controlled because we got Heavenly Waffles up in this piece. You know,
Oh,
Bob.
nice.
Matter of fact, Bob just left here. He made me about 5 or 6 gallons of the Heavenly Waffle mix.
Oh man, that's some good stuff right there, boy.
Dude, it's a hit. It's a classic hit around here. They love the Heavenly Waffles.
Hey,
They
this
have
is
no
what
idea what we put in them.
me and Bach gonna leave you on screen for a minute, and we'll be up there about 11:30.
Who's gonna do the show?
We're
me?
just gonna leave you. Yeah, we're just gonna leave you on and let you do your own cooking show.
I can do that.
Cooking with the
do that.
captain.
I think if it can work, I think what we'll do is we'll go to the kitchen and give you guys a little sneak peek of what happens in the kitchen.
Where's
at a
your apron?
restaurant.
Where's your apron?
I don't have one. I'm not waiting. I'm just greeting. And
Okay,
eating.
you say you're a server, so you got to have your apron on with some straws, napkins, and some silverware in your pocket.
You see
Yeah,
what
that's
that
like
say?
you got on there, Captain.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. You got some power on there too, then.
Right. So, Bob, come on, man. Y'all got to update me because I'm going to tell you all I know is Heavenly Waffles and chicken.
Well, I did want to ask you a little bit about what Tony White was talking about yesterday, and just kind of the talk in general. He gave us an update on a few different things. So, first of all, just kind of the install of this new 335. White said the staff had scaled things back in practice to focus on the details. If players don't know where to be and what to do, they can't play fast. How much do you think this installation, or like how long into the season do you think it'll take before they really get this defense going? Obviously, they don't have the. They've got a couple tough games out of the gate. You don't have some warm up games to get you going. So, if they're still, they're still kind of in the install phase, do you hope to kind of get all that knocked out of the way in the spring?
You can't. It's impossible. You cannot. You ain't gonna take one spring, 1 year to install a brand new defense, install with brand new players, brand new coaches. It's going to take a year, maybe 2 years. A lot of the taking, as far as taking a while to get there, is going to be on the guys that they recruit. Can they recruit the guys that are going to be in those positions to make big plays? If they can't recruit those guys, it might take 2 or 3 years. But if you get lucky and you're able to recruit a couple guys that can start like a Terrell Farley. You didn't know Terrell Farley was going to be as good. You thought that he had the potential, but it wasn't until he got there and proved that he was that good that he elevated himself to the starting spot.
Well, like I said yesterday, I think spring is not the time to install more defense. I think spring is more of basic defense. So you let the guys learn what position they're really going to play, and then when you come back in the fall camp, that's when you load them up. That's when their brain got to be working in the fall camp, because that's when guys know what true position they're really going to play. See, right now you're mixing and matching, and you're trying to play that fit game, and when they do fit the position, you ease them into it, because you throw it all at once. And plus, this is a new defense, new coaching staff. You got tons of new players, and these guys just came from running the 4-3. So the 3-3-5 is going to be real different. I mean, it's going to have a lot of terminology in it. It's going to have a lot of different things you can do in it: blitzing, dropbacks, what gap control that you have, what gap control the defensive line has. So you can't throw all that into 14 days of spring practice. So you got to elevate your game more in the summer, because that's when you want to get in there. You want to learn everything. That's when you want them to learn it on the go, because once you know the back part, you got to know the front part. If you can't run a different back and have a different front, then everything is messed up.
Yeah, I think that when you are trying to put in a brand new defense, like Terrell said, it's the spring. You need to find guys.
Yeah,
you need to find guys that can play. You know, the 3-3-5 defense, I get it, but if you don't have guys that can block, tackle, play, hit, get off blocks, they're aggressive, they know just the basic defense, it's going to be a long year for all of us involved. So I think finding the guys who can run, finding who are your hit stick guys, who are your short tacklers, who's the cover guys that you got, who are the guys at safety that can come down in the box and be that big hitter in that free spot that you need, that's going to be a short tackler. We got so many holes that we got to figure out, that the 3-3-5 defense and knowing the nuances of that and the ins and outs, that's like if we're talking about a scale of ABCs, that's like S, way out there.
And you know what's really important for these kids, though? The summer is really important, especially with this new defense and new offense. I mean, we used to be hyped to go out there for 7-on-7, VJ. You know what I'm saying? That was our bread and butter in the summer. We go out there with our shirts off and everybody flexing, everybody big, and we talking smack, they talking smack. But you know, it's repetition, it's drop zones. I mean, you learn that in the summer, man. This team come back. If these kids really, 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 really want to be a great football team, everybody stays here in the summer. Everybody.
I mean, if you go home for a week, consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, get your week and get back. That's it. And you come back. You know, you don't go and wait till the middle of July to come back, because then they're ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? Because they're running every day. They're lifting every day. You go home. I know if I go home, I'm not lifting that week. I'm taking the week off. But you got guys that really committed, that's really needs to be here for the whole summer to get a grasp of this defense. Give them the playbook, let them learn it, and they'll do it in the 7-on-7.
Oh, and to get bigger, faster, stronger. I mean, the dog days of summer, you being out there on Memorial Stadium, it's hot. Back when we was there, it was probably 20 degrees hotter because you had carpet, because you had the turf, and it was straight carpet. But now these guys kind of got some luxury, but they got to be running stadium steps. They got to be doing 100-yard wind sprints, 10, 15, 20 of them. They got to put themselves, their mental state, but their physical state has got to be just as up on game as their mental state as far as knowing the 3-3-5 defense. They've got to be doing the extra stuff, the push-ups, the competition, the things that guys, when I ask them, do you want to be good or do you want to be great? Most people say, oh, I want to be great. I want to be great. And I say, the great ones do what the good ones won't do. See, the great players are going out and doing 2 and 3 workouts a day because they want to be great. The good players, they're going to do just the minimum, just enough to get by.
Yeah,
you can't do just enough.
Yeah, and the good players want to wait till the sun goes down to work out. The great players do it in 100-degree weather, Bob.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Sweat it out, Bob.
Yeah.
Make that sweat come. See, we went in the dead of the heat. We went 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We was out there. We was out there at 3 o'clock, dead heat on the turf. The turf back then was 20, 30, 40, 50 degrees hotter than it was outside. It made it that hot outside.
Oh, look at that sun. Look at that sun.
Pops out for you.
Oh, it's beautiful. How does it look? How do I look from your vantage point? Pretty good?
You look good.
Should I turn that way?
That looks good, Bach. That got you, Bach, on that one, Bach. He told him he looks good. See, there we go.
I already commented on his physique earlier, so I'll just keep the compliments coming.
You're real sweet today, aren't you?
I'm trying to get that sandwich. Maybe I can get the tips on that
He
sandwich.
want to get down and get him a Heavenly Waffle, chicken and Heavenly Waffles, or North Side, or 24th Street, or some Jake's favorite. Shrimp nachos.
I wish I could just parachute there right now. I wish I was you ever seen that movie Jumpers?
Oh yeah.
I wish I could just jump the Jackson take out, and then jump back into the studio with a Heavenly Waffle plate.
You just be happy with your good sense. All I know is we are powered
by Bauer
Infrastructure.
Bauer
Underground
Brand
Excavated.
Hey, it's the captain. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm with
the black shirt
and
Bach.
Holla at your boy. We'll be right back. Jackson Fair Deal. Come get some breakfast, lunch, or brunch, dinner, something.
What's with all the Nebraska Lottery scratch tickets? We're going to a baseball game.
They're for the 7th inning scratch.
You mean the 7th inning stretch?
Hey, you can stretch if you want. I'm scratching.
Starting a new baseball tradition?
Sure. Why not add even more excitement to the game? Check out all these fun tickets. And I could win thousands between innings.
I suppose the next thing you'll do is change Take Me Out to the Ball Game to Take Me Out to a Nebraska Lottery retailer.
Buy me some peanuts and scratch tickets.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same products you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and Andermatt. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements. You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So I take my computer in, see how people come and they study eating, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can just sit there at business meetings. If you want to come down to business meeting, you want us to cater. If you want us to, whatever you need us to do, I'll sit in here for a little bit. That's what they do, standing around. See? Let me give you some more. Let me give you the kitchen right quick. That's because, get down here, y'all. 2118 North 24th Street. We're on Twitch, Twitter.
Where's AJ? Where's Action Jack?
He had to step out for a minute. See?
Oh, okay.
Well, we in there doing it. He'll be back though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He'll be back. Stop begging for AJ.
I'm not begging for AJ. He's a friend of
Sound
mine.
like you're begging for him.
Hey, he's your brother, but he also is a friend of mine. So stop that. Yeah.
Sun's out. It's a nice day.
See, we probably got the wrong Jackson. We probably should have got the AJ Action Jackson you went playing. You know what I'm saying? So
here, let me just give you guys a lightweight tour here. This is our outside area. This will go up. Yeah, patio door go up.
Oh, okay.
So I can get through there that way. You got doors here. You can go here this way. Blam. See that? Actually, we will start to. I know. I get it. We're on Twitch. If you want to see us and you're on the radio, I'm sorry, but we're on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. What else?
You're going too far. Your Wi-Fi cutting out now. You're going too far.
Just the back.
Yeah, we're losing connection there, but we'll get back with the captain here in a second.
I went too far. I went too far.
Yeah, you went
We
too
knew
far.
that. Yeah.
All right. I'm sitting down now. Okay.
You need a general manager. I can come run it for you now. I leave. I even leave the ticket for you if you get me right.
You must be talking about. You must. I know you talking crazy right now because ain't no way Jenny from the block gonna let you off work, buddy.
Hey, I'm just saying. You need a general manager. I need a car with that. I need one of the Jackson family auto cars and room and board.
Sound of a good deal.
Room and board at the Jackson estate. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, you asking for an awful lot, Terrell.
Yeah, and then I need 5 hours a day in your massage chair. So, you know, look,
wow.
hey.
When's the work gonna get done?
Oh, I'm gonna be there. You know, I'm gonna be there.
Looks for a lot of benefits.
But what are we gonna play something? Are we gonna listen to somebody?
We didn't get audio. We don't have audio, but I would still want to ask you about the quotes from yesterday because some of them are still pretty interesting. And we didn't get your thoughts on it. Yesterday, again, Tony White, the defensive coordinator, was speaking. We kind of spoke on behalf of his talk about kind of the install that they're doing. It was interesting. He was asked about the pass rush, and he listed a few guys that were kind of standing out. I'd go ahead and name them off: Princewell, Uman Whalen, Chief Borders, MJ Sherman, and Kai Wallen. What you'll notice about that group of guys is they're all new. That's a whole new cast of characters from the JUCO ranks, a freshman and Princewell, obviously Chief Borders and MJ Sherman as transfers. If those are the guys that are standing out, I think you just got to give hats off to the coaching staff. Obviously, not able to get Garrett Nelson to come back on campus. O'Shawn Mathis, those are kind of your primary pass rushers last season. But I thought it was kind of interesting. All new names brought up as pass rushers.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting that we didn't hear from what's the kid that was 10 last year? That originally had left, but then he came back. Yeah, I'm surprised his name was out of that conversation. But at the end of the day, you got to live and die by the guys that you go get. So they know those guys, they recruited those guys, and I would imagine that there's going to be a lot of players that they're going to go get that's going to be better than the guys that we already have. I mean, in one, it will either do two things. It will either push those guys to their maximum potential, or it will make them tap out and say, you know what, transfer portal.
Yeah, but when he says that though, two of the guys listed on that thing are linebackers. So that's really not defensive end. Those are going to be guys who's going to be on the outside. Playing pass drop sometime, blitzing most of the time. So that's a good thing when you got linebackers that can blitz like that. Now on the other side, these guys are still learning too. None of these guys hit the field yet. So we're only talking about practice. So when they get in game time, we got to make sure they're game time ready.
Well, I mean, practice makes perfect. So if you and I do agree with you, but I think you got to be doing practice 150 miles an hour in order to simulate game speed. So when you thudding up and you are tagging off, all you're doing is setting yourself up for a failure, because thudding up or tagging off will never be real football. I'll give you a call. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm interviewing in between sessions.
Busy man.
One stop shop.
Hey, okay. Hey, let's do an interview. Come on, let's go. How you doing there, sir? How you doing, Mr. Jackson? I'm Terrell Farley.
Hey, Terrell, are you trying to get the job?
Yes,
or
sir.
I'm trying to get the job.
I'm trying to get the job, sir. I'm trying to see what position you got on, sir. Most likely, sir, I can do help in the kitchen. I can serve tables. I can bust tables, sir. I can help you clean at night, sir. And I'm very flexible on scheduling time, sir. I'm just trying to feed my family.
All right, no problem, sir. First and foremost, why do you want to work for us?
I feel like just because it's a small business and to help a small business get on their feet, and plus I really like the style you played at Nebraska. I'm a big fan of yours, Mr. Jackson. So it'd probably be an honor to play for you. I mean, to work for you, sir.
Absolutely. How well do you take constructive criticism?
I can handle it, sir. I think it comes with the job.
how well do you get along with others?
Oh, sir, I'm very talkative and I'm very friendly, and I work great with others. You know, I can blend in with any kind of people that you have there, sir.
You know, we've interviewed about 10 people.
Hey, just give me the damn job, man.
I was gonna ask you what sets you above all the other 10 people.
I don't even want the job no more.
Uh-oh. You know,
that's why we.
Yeah, he gonna probably put me at the dishwasher back there.
That's about as good as it's gonna get for you, Terrell. We know you ain't gonna show up for nothing else, and I don't believe you can really cook. I'm just saying.
We mentioned Kai Wallen as part of that group that was standing out. You know, the only JUCO transfer Nebraska picked up in this class. Kind of interested in the landscape now in college football, obviously with the transfer portal, maybe the JUCO market a little bit overlooked. But one thing that was interesting yesterday, the entire Iowa Western Community College football team was in attendance at Thursday's practice. I know that's something you've talked about before too, is trying to connect and get that. It's something that Nebraska just hasn't taken advantage of yet.
Yeah, how we have not had a pipeline of Iowa Western players is beyond me. But it goes to show you that the head coach, who's probably one of the most powerful men in Nebraska, right, aside from the governor, Coach Osborne, and a couple people, it's up to him to mend those relationships and to make sure that Iowa Western, who weren't they in the championship game the last 2 years?
Yeah, they're defending champions.
And we don't have a relationship with the defending champions of JUCO. See? So it's all about relationship building. It's also about understanding that you might have a JUCO player fill a role, but if your roster is JUCO heavily laden, I don't say you're going to win games. And if you do, it's going to be such an attrition. The drop-off is going to be so great once those guys graduate that you're going to have to start over. You're going to have to stay in the JUCO realm. Well, if you're in the JUCO realm, you're only getting 2 years out of a guy instead of building. So I think you can use the JUCO to build the program these first 2-3 years. But at that point, I think at some point you got to scale back and start looking for the Terrell Farleys, looking for the Mike Roziers, looking for that diamond in the rough, the Eric Alfords, the guys who are coming from JUCO that you can put at a position that can help you immensely.
Yeah, so my thing is Nebraska should have been closed that gap between them and the junior college. Remember I said last week, I talked about them scrimmaging the JUCO for, just to get the JUCO better and them better. But here's my thing, though. JUCO is good and some is bad. This is a good thing about JUCO. So you might get a JUCO player who red shirts in JUCO, have 1 year of JUCO ball, and then come to your school and have 3 years of eligibility. Now, the downside is if you get a player who only has 2 years of eligibility, but you want him to play, and he don't pans out like that, and now you might as well let him play the next year because you don't wasted, not saying wasted a scholarship, but you didn't get what you expected to.
Mm-hmm.
Not that's what I'm saying. All JUCO is not good JUCO. So and I'm a JUCO guy.
Well, now that you say that though, Black Shirt, you make a lot of sense. Brian Knuckles.
Yeah.
Jason Jenkins.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of guys that came from JUCO. Just because you go from JUCO does not mean you're going to come in and play. I know a bunch of guys that came from JUCO, that Marvin Sims, that never touched the field.
Brian Knuckles ran for 2,000 yards in JUCO and wasn't All-American and came to Nebraska with a packed backfield, So I played against him, so I know. I also played against Corey Dillon. He played in JUCO, so he played at Garden City. So, and he was tough back then, so that was a plus for Washington.
All right, Bob, keep it rolling.
I thought Scott Frost is kind of an interesting example too, because Pelini, you think back to his days, was great at recruiting JUCO players. You kind of think of DeJon Gomes, Levante David, obviously Stanley Jean-Baptiste. I mean, you can keep going. And then Scott Frost, I think, did reach into the JUCO portal, but never was able to really get much out of it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So when Terrell kind of says, you got to get the right guy. I mean, I think we've seen that over the last several years. Hopefully Kai Wallen will be one of those guys, as one of those early reports there from the defensive coordinator says he might be. Another thing that I thought was interesting, he talked about the cornerback position. And they're kind of trying some guys out, including Miles Farmer, which is kind of interesting at cornerback. But basically, he said there's no leading candidate for the other spot opposite Newsome. So basically, they're penciling in Newsome, which is one of their team leaders, understandable as a cornerback. Is started for 2 years. But I thought it was kind of interesting. Malcolm Hartzog, a guy that a lot of us just assumed would be the opposite starting cornerback, kind of thrown into a group there with Javier Morton, Tommy Hill, who's playing full time now at cornerback again, and Miles Farmer.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was the guy.
Well,
I thought Hartsgrove was the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, even at practice, it looked like he was still playing at a different level than everybody else. To me, I don't remember if he got a pick or not, but I do know that he was playing at a different level. His energy was higher than a lot of other people's on the football team. So I hope, I think that's a good thing. I mean, if guys don't have their positions locked, I think it should be open. I don't think that it should be a given of anything. It should be, you got to work for it.
Yeah, I got you on that one. I'm pretty happy for Javier Martin, man. That kid been here for 2 years, and I heard good things about him each year, but it seems that he couldn't really get on the field. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of happy for him that he's getting a chance to display his skills and stuff. Now I'm like Bach. I thought probably Malcolm Hartsgrove would have that spot, but you put Tommy Newsome back there, not Tommy Newsome, but Tommy Hill back there, and that's 3 guys who battling for it. Now Tommy Hill, he started the first 6 games last year, and Malcolm came in, and I thought Malcolm did a great enough job to be a returning starter, but that the coaches see something different, and like I said, Malcolm could be that inside corner, because you're running 5 DBs back there. So that's the thing, Malcolm could be the inside corner, or, and Tommy Hill be the outside corner. See, that's why it's a 3-way battle right now, because whoever wins the outside job, I don't know, the inside job got to be better than the outside job, because he got slots and little guys cutting across. So that might be great for Malcolm right there, because he's a smaller guy too.
Well, it's interesting too, because they have they're going to have several different packages. When you think of the 3-3-5, that at times that is going to mean the nickel, right? Yeah. At times that's going to mean the rover, kind of playing as another safety instead of another cornerback. So a lot of these guys, I don't know if they're going to pencil them in necessarily, certain guys at least, to just one of those positions. Maybe they will. But I think there's going to be a lot of rotation in that secondary, and you just got a lot more spots than we kind of traditionally think of. Okay, you need your 2 safeties, your 2 cornerbacks, and then that extra, that your third corner, like you said, sometimes a smaller guy that can cover the slots. Still kind of looking for those things. But I'm really interested in who's going to win that rover job in among those safeties, especially if they're trying Farmer out at a cornerback, because you pencil him in as a starting safety.
Well, maybe he's just, they have guys that play safety that tries to, not saying he's trying to play corner, but it's probably the better his cover skills at man. Not saying he was lacking, but it helps better to work with the corners and stuff like that. Now, when we talk about the 3-3-5, that 5th guy can also be a linebacker on first and second down. So you bring that guy, you don't say, then it's like a 3-4, a 3-4. It depends how they bring him. So, the 3-3-4 could be a run stopper in the first 2 downs, and then you can throw your little like Malcolm out there in the 3rd down, just to cover the little guys. And that's so many tendencies that defense got, or it can be multiplied to.
Yeah, but I mean, go ahead, Bob.
Oh, I was just gonna move on. If you have some thoughts about that too, I mean, we can continue here.
Yeah, no. I mean, Terrell had said something. Terrell, what'd you just say? Say that one more time.
I said,
That
well, the
last part.
3-3 you can run it so many ways because you can take that fifth DB and make him a linebacker on first and second down, and then you go back to your 3-3-5, because you gotta have pressure up there in the first two downs. You just can't let it be, we're gonna run straight at you because the 3-3-5, I don't think is gonna be able to take that pounding like in the Big Ten like that. So you got to bring that extra guy in that box to make it, a count of 7 though.
Yeah, I think you got to think about a few names there. Is Clavoric still there? I think Javen Wright's a name.
Yeah.
Clavoric might not be who I'm thinking about, but there's another kid that's in that same position.
Gifford.
That you got to look. Gifford. No,
Yeah.
Gifford was gone. Gifford's
Isaac
gone. I'm talking about that's there now. They came back from last year.
Isaac Gifford will be back. Cloverich is moving.
Okay, Isaac Gifford, Javen Wright. Listening at this name, Michael Booker IV. Michael Booker IV. Listen at those names, and I think those are going to be some of those names that's going to be able to play that nickel, that spot, that position.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we will certainly see. And then I think one of the other storylines from yesterday that we can bring up.
Come
and
out
kinda
here and
get
talk to me when you get at
in
the
a
order.
second is Norton Newelly, the offensive lineman, obviously
okay.
wanting to shut down what happened last year, and so we will respect that as soon as we kind of get the captain's thoughts here because I did want to get your thoughts on it. Oh, that's okay. Just kind of bring it up. Norton Newelly spoke with the media. Obviously, he was suspended last year. He kind of talked about how much that kind of hurt him. He said one of the hardest days of his life when he found out. He ended up saying, "I would rather die on the field than watch another play from the sideline." So you could kind of hear it, and hear from those quotes the frustration that it was for him. And now he kind of wants to put that behind him. But now he says, moving forward, he's working on a lot of different spots on the offensive line. Says they're a little bit thin with where they're going. So that's probably partially the reason why he's moving around. I think he'd be I think you're looking at him ideally as a guard. But kind of moving around and playing around. Also called the offensive lineman there now a brotherhood. He said when he first arrived in Lincoln, guys were just there to be there. Now kind of a brotherhood, and they're all seeing things through one set of eyes. You can hear, obviously a guy that wants to be a leader and was really frustrated with kind of what happened last year. But where are your thoughts now listening to that and kind of thinking of the offensive line moving forward? Are you kind of buying into, obviously that's been something that's missing the last couple of years, got better last year, the offensive line under Raiola, probably part of the reason why you brought him back. But do you expect another big jump this year?
Absolutely. I mean, you got a bigger jump coming because you've got the likes of a Coach Rule, who's the offensive line coach, overseeing that deal, right? Those guys are starting to look like offensive linemen. They're not looking like, kind of that tweener basketball / football player, like Bryce Benhart is looking like. Before I was like, I will kick Bryce Benhart, what. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving him alone. I still will get after him. I don't know if I'll win or not because he's getting bigger, faster, stronger. So, Newelly, I think with him being suspended, it's got to be tough to watch from the sideline. But I think that fire from him watching and being on the sideline looking, he'll use that in order to fuel the comeback. Okay?
Yeah. Well, when we come back, I'm gonna come back on the brotherhood part, and we're gonna let them know about the real brotherhood, Rashawn.
Do it to break, Terrell.
All right, this is the ticket 93.7 on the black shirt, Terrell Farley. I got the captain, Rashawn Jackson, and I'm with Bach. We'll be back.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
What's with all the Nebraska Lottery scratch tickets? We're going to a baseball game.
They're for the seventh inning scratch.
You mean the seventh inning stretch?
Hey, you can stretch if you want. I'm scratching.
Starting a new baseball tradition?
Sure. Why not add even more excitement to the game? Check out all these fun tickets, and I could win thousands between innings.
I suppose the next thing you'll do is change Take Me Out to the Ball Game to Take Me Out to a Nebraska Lottery retailer.
Buy me some peanuts and scratch tickets.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back with Vershawn Jackson. Powered by Bauer. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back this Friday. It's a good Friday out there. People, get out and enjoy the sun. Go fishing. Go walking. Get out the house. Stop listening to the. I'm not gonna say stop listening to the radio.
No, keep listening to the radio.
Keep the radio on you. But go out and have a great day. This is The Ticket 93.7.
Oh no, my battery is running down, guys.
No. So here's the thing, Captain. I want to talk about that brotherhood, and when he said he see things as a brotherhood, now that's one thing that that football team got to understand, that it's gonna be 100 and some guys out there, and y'all all got to be a team. And this one thing that Coach Osborne did one year, and he called us up and he told us we're a team. Damn it,
yeah.
So we don't involve ourselves in other stuff with other people. We're a team, and we're gonna be a team, and that's one thing about our brotherhood. I was telling Bob that I think the 90s are the closest thing to, like, most of the players come back because it was a brotherhood, because we all want to see each other, and we all because we was brothers in school. So now we're grown, but we're still brothers though.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right. I mean, to this day, some guys we might have talked to them, but if the guys that we haven't talked to in 10 years or saw in 10 years, we don't miss a beat when we get back together. Whether it's 10, 20, 30 years, we all love each other just like we did when we were in that locker room. Some of us.
Hopefully most. We'll go with most.
Yeah, most of us. It was a great team, man. I mean, you learn a lot, man, when you from a different place and you come here and see guys from different areas of the world, and y'all all mash and be a great team. See, it's the thing, when I first seen Jason and Christian Peters, they was yelling at me and screaming, I was like, what's wrong with these guys? And I was like, man, are these are fools. So, but like I said, man, I got to know those guys, and those guys are real passionate about football like I was. So it makes it even better when I can get on the field with them and help them, and just to see their style of play, man. And I love those guys. I wouldn't want any other 4 defensive linemen that I had when I played, because those was monsters. Those was my brothers.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can get that brotherhood back together. I thought something else that was interesting is AJ Rollins, talking. Tony White, called him I don't have the word in front of me, but it gave him some glaring comments and appreciation for him now working full time at defensive end. And he said that was his decision to make. He went and asked the coaches, if that's where he can be. And it kind of leads to this question off the text line. Aaron asked, what do you guys think about Rule trying players at so many different positions? Did the prior staff do that? I don't remember hearing about it to this degree. Sounds like Rule has a real eye for finding spots for players to really play to their strengths. And that is something that he's done successfully at his previous stops, is kind of position changes. I think a lot of it right now has to do with that 3-3-5 defense, though. It's just kind of figuring out the right position for each one of those guys. And just that defense lends itself to a little bit more moving guys around. So I think that that's going to be part of it. But another part of it is to what he was saying is, he's had success doing this before. A lot of these guys coming out of college, we've talked before about different guys and decisions you make on where you're going to play him. Cam Jurgens, could have played tight end. We talk about Noah Fant in Nebraska when he was a defensive end. He wanted to play tight end. Obviously, there's a lot of position changes that we've talked about before. But the point is that it's a football player. Sometimes there's just one role for him, but a lot of them have enough athleticism to play this position. You talk about offense, defense, or moving them around the field. I think it's at least just getting a look at it now. Again, to what we're speaking about earlier, I don't think you want to get too lost in that because, again, when you're dealing with install and stuff like that, I get it's a new set of eyes. You want to see where these guys play, but you don't want to spend all spring having them try out at two positions and then not get the most out of them at one.
Well, I think some of these guys were two-way players in high school, so that's a good thing that they was two-way players. Now the thing about AJ Rollins that they say he was a great defensive end. So and plus you got to understand that tight end room is probably kind of thick. So you want to neutralize. You want to get him at the best position you can get him. You don't want to just let the kid go because he has so much potential on defense, just as much as he has on offense. That's the same with Tommy Hill when he was at the receiver group, but I never seen him play there. But you got to understand, like I said, most of these guys are two sport. I mean, like not two sport, but played both sides of the ball in high school, and they're still young enough where you can move them and develop them and put weight on them and so things like that.
I'll give you a classic example. Devin White, my little cousin, played running back in high school. Everybody recruited him as a running back. He was phenomenal. The minute that we start looking at his career, what was going to, all of our goal playing college football was to do what, Terrell?
What'd you say now?
All of our goals when we played college football was to do what?
Win a national title.
And then to go on to do what?
To the NFL.
There you go. So everybody wants to play in the NFL. And I know one of the things that we told Devin is, he loved running back. But he was going to play longer and he was going to be more important to the team playing linebacker. And so being in you going through multiple positions, to me as a head coach, is beautiful, especially if you don't know what a kid is. You might find out that this potential linebacker is really a defensive end. But if you never put him there and say, try it, let's see what happens, you'll never know. So I'm not in the business of pigeonholing a guy into one position. I think he can be in multiple positions and be successful.
Yeah, and A.J. Rollins said, too, along with his decision to move to defensive end, again, they were going to kind of have him do both and play at tight end, is that if things do get if you do lack the depth there at tight end, he can always jump back over there because he's already played there, 2 years in college getting ready. So that's something to look out for.
No, Bob, it's over with. It's done.
No, that's what he said.
AJ, I know, but it's done. AJ Rollins will never play tight end again. It's done. This dude, I guarantee you, will become one of the best rush ends in a long time at the University of Nebraska because he's built for it. His body type is built for it. He reminds me, he's got the body type to be a Pierre Paul type. 6'4", 6'5", tall, lean, can move, can use his body as his weapon. We've got to find more guys that we can switch positions and put them in a position to be successful.
Speaking of Devin White.
You can't do both. You only can do one.
Speaking of Devin White, trying to get traded, ain't it? You talked to Cuz?
I ain't talked to him in a minute. I think sometimes money makes their mind go midget. Money, midgets. A lot of times when they get
over the contract talk.
Yeah, I know, but here's the deal, because this is a real point. When guys get millions of dollars that come from humble beginnings, if they don't remain humble, the money will make them mental midgets, where they'll think they're mental giants, but the money makes them disrespect, makes them walk around different, makes them talk different, makes everything about their life different. And if I know you and you're this way, and then you got a couple quarters, and then you're that way, and it changes you, then sometimes the old captain got to say, I love you, cuz, but I got to deal with you from a long-handled spoon, because money don't make the man makes the money. And sometimes in the NFL, that money gets into those guys' head, and it totally destroys their mind. Hey, make sure we get the I lost my baby. I gotta have I lost my baby.
All right. All right.
What's the break, Bob?
All right, you are listening to the captain here with the three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson, the All-American Terrell Farley, and myself, Bach. We'll be back right after this break.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You are so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
There's a new way to vacate when you fly LNK. Check out brand new service at the Lincoln Airport to some of America's favorite travel destinations. Catch convenient nonstop flights to Vegas, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Orlando, Austin, Dallas, or Nashville when you fly via Redway. With so many affordable options to choose from, planning your vacation has never been easier. Visit GoFlyRed.com and book today. Flights are public charters offered by Global X Air Tours LLC and operated by Global Crossing Airlines Incorporated.
What's with all the Nebraska lottery scratch tickets? We're going to a baseball game.
They're for the 7th inning scratch.
You mean the 7th inning stretch?
Hey, you can stretch if you want. I'm scratching.
Starting a new baseball tradition?
Sure. Why not add even more excitement to the game? Check out all these fun tickets, and I could win thousands between innings.
I suppose the next thing you'll do is change Take Me Out to the Ball Game to Take Me Out to a Nebraska lottery retailer.
Buy me some peanuts and scratch tickets.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934 8934 HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Touchdown. Vershawn Jackson, number 34, gets the touchdown. Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bakoven. Coming at you live from the Coppels Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
That's right. It's the Captain Show. I'm broadcasting live here from Jackson Fair Deals Cafe, 2118 North 24th Street. Come on down. We're open from 7 to 7. It is going absolutely down.
Me and Bob about to get down on that Good Sense Friday sandwich.
Right. Is the sandwiches there?
Man, it's like 7 sandwiches out today. Like you picked the wrong day to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Man, it's like 5 people out.
Here's what I'm gonna need y'all to do.
Out, Austin out, Nick's out, Rashawn out. That's 5 sandwiches. Oh, we're not saving your family.
You look like you should be good for the weekend.
Oh no, I'm good.
So can we play my song?
No, we gotta wait. It comes in after.
We'll do it in the next.
Yeah, the next segment, man. You got to get me ready. You just can't just throw it on like that.
It's 11:15. The fastest 2 hours in radio is 44 minutes from being over. So you gonna wait until the last minute?
No, we're gonna do the next segment.
I do have a question for you guys. I want you guys to listen to this because I think it's interesting. We've got 2 guys that had stints in the NFL here. Listen to Paul George here on if he thinks that some of the NFL players could cross over and play in the NBA, and give me your thoughts here on his opinion.
I don't think they can cross over. I don't think
you saying the football player.
I don't think a football player can cross over to the NBA. Our game is completely skilled. For me, I think for an NFL guy to be able to play in the league, they got to be hell of a shooters, right? Because otherwise, we're not going to guard you. You can't shoot. Like that athleticism, that strength, that means nothing if you can't shoot the ball in our league. And I think there's really good guys that have played both. You think about like Julius Peppers, you think about Tony Gonzalez, like the tight ends have made great transitions, whether it was basketball to football or football to basketball. I'm not saying that guys can't play at a high level, but I think as far as playing in the NBA, I don't think there's a chance.
Who is that?
That is Paul George,
Paul
star
George.
of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Paul George need to concentrate on making the playoffs. You know, don't
worry about that. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but did you guys have a chance to see DK Metcalf in the All-Star game?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that DK Metcalf couldn't play in the league? I'm telling you, I think so. I think he could. I think if he there's good football players that can play basketball, and there's good basketball players, bigger basketball players, and even the smaller basketball players that can play football. I think it's interchangeable.
Yeah, me too, man. Because it's like Antonio Gates. You could use him for one great example. He was a great basketball player, but even a better tight end. Now I've seen guys that played up here with me that were great athletes that could play basketball. Kenny Cheatham, Eric Warfield. You got guys like that. They definitely can play it at a high level in the NBA. I think so. What he's saying, I think that's just a basketball player talking nonsense.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, Kenny Cheatham could have.
That's Paul George. Can he come here? Can he come play football? That's the question.
Oh, they did. They had a follow up, and he didn't say necessarily himself, but he pointed to guys. He thinks like a LeBron James and a Russell Westbrook would make a transition to football pretty easily, or not easily. I don't want to say easily. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he thinks they'd be tough to stop in the NFL.
Okay.
Listen, Kenny Cheatham had a scholarship to go anywhere playing basketball. He had a scholarship to go to Kansas. We played against the basketball players at the rec all the time. And you can't tell me we didn't hold our own against those basketball players. All you got to do is ask Tyronn Lue.
Well, what he's saying is that the NBA is such a high level. I mean, college basketball is one thing, but to play in the NBA, it's a different level. I think a pretty good example of this though would be Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward, he didn't play in the NFL, but he won the Heisman. Probably would have got a look in the NFL if he would have decided to. I don't know how long he would have played, but obviously went on to play a long time in the NBA. So I mean, there's few examples. I mean, I don't think for the most part, a lot of those guys, it's just. Very different sports. There are a few guys that are so gifted that they could probably play professionally in both. And I think there are examples out there, but I don't know if it's, I think it would be a select few.
I mean, it would be a select few. And you're right. Basketball is select. You do have to shoot. You have to have the mechanics. You have to have some nuances of the game that you learned along the way. So could a football player I don't know if a football player could start in the NBA, but I guarantee you somebody can make somebody's roster and be on somebody's bench. I don't know what basketball player, besides a LeBron James, maybe a Draymond Green, and I'm talking tight ends. I don't know who would be able to transition and play at a high level on the football field. Why? Because they're not used to that hit. I can tell you who you can ask. Strickland. Ask Strickland. He'll tell you it's not as easy as you think. Yeah, he's got the moves. Yeah, he can get open. Yeah, he can out-jump everybody. But what happens when you got to take a hit from a Mike Minner, from a Tony Veland, from a Grant Winstrom, from a Terrell Farley, from a Jamel Williams, from a Mike Anderson, from a Tyrese Knox? I can keep going over and over again. I'm saying, how do you respond when you're not used to taking hits and you get hit?
It's interesting too, because I saw this story also coming up, because you kind of think too, you train your body differently if you're going from basketball to football. So I guess you have to let your imagination run a little bit, because you would train a little bit differently. However, West Virginia's basketball player, starting center Jimmy Bell, stands 6'10". And now he is going to try out on the offensive line for the football team. He's lost 75 pounds in the offseason, started all 34 games for the Mountaineers basketball team, averaged 4.8 points and 5.2 rebounds. So I think often you kind of think of those big guys like 7-footers. You think, well, they could maybe get on there on the offensive line. How come we don't see too much of that? Is there such a thing as too tall to play football?
Oh, absolutely. Football is a game of leverage, bro. The reason what made me good at blocking was not because I was the best blocker, not because I was the biggest guy, is because I understood leverage. I understand that the low man wins all the time. And if I'm already there, I'm 6 foot. Grant Winstrom 6'5". In order for him to defeat me, he's got to get lower than me. Because anything given the same, I'm going to destroy him because I'm lower if I'm stronger. So, low man wins the war. A guy that's a 7-footer would never work. You're too tall. And then imagine this. Could you imagine Shaq getting cut and having to get back up?
Yeah.
Well, guys like Shaq should just fall soon the ball snaps so they can just clog up the line. That's how big he is. That's why you would get a guy that 6'10", he would have to just fall straight down and make it clog up because he's not going to pull. He's not going to do anything else.
That would be fun to see Shaq line up at like nose tackle, in his prime. That would have been fun.
I can't even see Shaq getting down in his stance.
Not with them bad PD guys.
I'm for real. I'm serious. Could you imagine seeing Shaq in a 4-point? It would be an impulse. It would look crazy, but I don't know if he could get down there and then get back up.
Yeah, I don't know either. I thought it was interesting, at least to bring up because they're, I do think that there are a few athletes that could cross over one, both ways there. But again, I think I at least agree with Paul that it would be a select few. He might have maybe he didn't give it enough thought. Sometimes you just ask something, you just kind of have to answer real quick. This was on his podcast, so maybe he prepared for it, maybe didn't. But I thought that was kind of an interesting thing to bring up here, and we'll get to some more thoughts as we get going on throughout the show. But we better take a break again.
You agree with him, Bob?
I think that it is a select few.
I'm going to follow you every
completely
Sunday.
agree.
I'm going to follow you every Sunday for your church league, and I'm going to pay the other team $100.
Well, that's the other thing I
let
wanted
me check you.
That's the other reason I wanted to bring it up. Just because you guys are football players doesn't mean you can play, basketball against me at my level.
Whatever.
Please. Hey, listen. 93.7, the Captain Show is brought to you by Bauer.
Underground.
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Brand.
Excavating.
93.7, the ticket. I'm with the black shirt. I'm with Bach. Hey, the fastest 2 hours of radio is riding on. Come right back. We'll be right back and see if we left our honey at the pool game.
There we go.
Harder.
Yeah.
Pool something. Whatever.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Spring is in the air. Everyone knows this is the best time of the year to buy and sell a home. Johanna Rhodes with RE/MAX Concepts Real Estate is your go-to agent for help with one of life's big decisions. Come see Johanna at the Lincoln Earth Day celebration Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Learn more at lincolnearthday.org.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I lost my baby in a pool game. I lost my baby in a pool game, and I can't go home. I can't go home no more, no more, no more.
No more, no more.
Guess what? I lost my baby in a pool game. I lost my baby.
I lost my baby.
And I can't.
I lost
go
my baby.
home no more.
I can't go home.
I say no more, 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 no more.
I lost my baby.
I lost my baby in a pool game. I lost my baby in a pool game. I lost my baby in a pool game, and I can't go home no more, no more.
I lost my baby in a pool game. I lost my baby in a pool game. Could you imagine losing your baby in a pool game?
Hey,
that'd be messed up.
Some people don't like to say house in a pool game.
Oh, no.
Oh, Lord. Not in the pool game. That easy.
Will Smith lost a car in the pool game in one of the episodes of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know?
No, he was in trouble for that.
And Uncle Phil had to go bail him out.
What else you got, Bob? What else you got?
Well, it's a big weekend for recruiting for Nebraska.
Bob, let's tell them about the official visits. Now, there are no more things such 5 official visits. You can go visit as many colleges as you want to.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
NCAA announced that starting July 1st, there will be no limits on the amount of official visits a recruit can take. Obviously, you could previously just go to the 5 schools. So you can go ahead and take 16 official visits if you want to.
Straight free-for-all. That's what that is.
Now, you still can't,
it's a free-for-all.
You still can't go to the same school twice unless it's your junior and senior year. So you can't just keep coming back to every, the Nebraska game every week.
Sure. I definitely understand that, but anytime you open it up and you say you can go to all the schools you want to, so now a guy that is greedy or a guy that wants to be coddled is going to go to 10 or 20 school visits. See, I just think you're opening up a can of worms that we should not be opening up. I do. I think 5 is good. Okay, 10 is better, but how many ever you want? You mean to tell me that you're going to go to every SEC school? You're going to go to 10 Big 10 schools. You're going to go to 5 Big 12 schools. You're going to go to 3 ACC schools. Is that what we're talking about now? Or are we talking about making sure that instead of going to all these schools, instead of getting into the transfer portal, instead of doing the things that will take you away from football, why wouldn't we say 5? I just don't like it. I don't like saying unlimited. I think that's a bad look.
Yeah, I always kind of thought if I was a recruit, and I don't know how you guys handled it, but I'm just such a big college football fan that I would really take advantage of this. Any school that's even remotely interested in me, I'd love to go to their stadium, have them treat you like your royalty, get able to check the games out on the sidelines, see everything. I mean, just as a fan of college football, I think I'd take advantage of this.
I think it's cool, man, but I think it's going to be overkill, and I think it's going to add to the confusion, and it's going to add to the people palming each other's. I just don't think it's a good look that you can go to unlimited. I appreciated going to Iowa. I appreciated going to K-State. But when Nebraska offered me, there was no reason for me to go anywhere else. If I could go other places, then that meant that I could be influenced by other teams.
Mm-hmm.
But if I really wanted to be a Husker, when they offered me, all bets are off. I don't have any more offers on the table. It's over with. So I just think it's opening up a can of worms. I think when you tell a kid that he can go to any school and how many ever he wants, I think it waters down recruiting.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure, if it's going to make. I don't know how many guys take all 5 visits. It seems like this is a rule for not a whole lot of guys. Maybe there is a case for it, but there's only a certain amount of visits that you can take to begin with, not because of the NCAA rules, but because of your own high school schedule. We talk about games that kick off at 11. It's hard to fly guys in. So I guess maybe, with this rule, you look at visiting places, more places, maybe opens up flexibility a little bit more there. But either way, I don't know how many guys are going to take advantage of this. And kind of to what you're saying too, VJ, I don't know how many coaches are going to be interested in kids that are taking 10, 11 visits. You're just kind of thinking, where am I in this? Am I, if we're investing this time in this kid, maybe it could be better spent on somebody that's got 4, 5, 3, 4, like the original 5 visits lined up. So we know, we're one of the contenders, not just, hey, this kid's, going to have a fun time on our dime and on our time.
Yeah, well, if you don't know, if you're especially if you're a top guy, right, and you don't know where you want to go, something's wrong with that picture. Because as a top guy, I know my top 5 picks, right? I know if I want to go to USC, Nebraska, Oklahoma, I ain't trying to go to Iowa. I'm not trying to go to Purdue. I'm not trying to go to Miami. So just because Miami likes me, do I go on a recruiting trip to Miami anyway? Do I go to knowing I'm never going to sign with Miami? Do I go anyway because they want me to come? And then when I get there, what if the big booster in Miami, you know who I'm talking about, says, hey, I need you to come to the penthouse before you leave. Look in there. Look in that room. You go look in the room, and on the bed is $500,000. I'm being honest. The SEC. What?
I thought you were supposed to say a Sports Illustrated model.
No. Why? If that's all you getting, and you can go anywhere and get that. I'm talking about $500,000, $50,000 is in there. What I'm gonna need you to do is this. You don't have to answer now, but I'm gonna need you to come to the University of Miami. You see that $500,000? when you get back, there's going to be another 500,000 waiting for you. What just happened? You just took a kid who was pot committed to Nebraska, and he is on his way to Miami. You know why? Because he ain't got no money. He ain't got no money. And 500,000 or 50,000 is more money than he has seen in his lifetime. He can take care of mom and dad and still go to college. So I don't know if I'm necessarily buying that. I think it could be a setup to something bad down the way.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, the NCAA has less of a handle as ever on college football, and it's kind of strange to see them try to do their moves to try to keep whatever they can, whatever handle they do have, and try to strengthen that. I don't know if this helps it where the pressure was coming from, but this is the decision that they did make. Jump into basketball recruiting real quick. I know you're interested in this one, Vershawn. This weekend, or starting today actually, and through the weekend, Nebraska is set to host Latrell Wrightsell Jr., as well as former Notre Dame commit and four-star high school prospect Brady Dunlap, who has offers from North Carolina, Villanova, those type of teams in his Final Five. Also in the recruiting news, Pitt transfer John Hewley no longer going to be visiting Nebraska. That is probably in response to Nebraska adding Rink Mast, of course, from Bradley, kind of filling in that center position. So we've seen now Nebraska add Bryce Williams from Charlotte, Rink Mast the other day. They've still got 2 scholarships open, and a lot of people obviously still kind of circling, Latrell Wrightsell Jr., and saying that would be a big get, maybe a Hunter Salas as well. But they might have to start being picky because this Brady Dunlap is pretty darn good kid too, and you'd get 4 years out of him.
Yeah, I think we got to throw all our cookies into Hunter Salas. I think with him being an Omaha kid that went to Gonzaga, I think it will help in recruiting. It will help in attendance. It will help in just everything. Retention, to go out and say we're going to bring one of our sons home, I think is a statement. And it's not like he can't play the game. He is one of the best to play the game that's out there and available right now, with the exception of Chucky. I mean, if you could find a way to get Hunter and Chucky, now I'm telling you right now, we go straight to the Big Ten championship game. But to get Wrightsell, who is born and raised Omaha, to try to get that kid and to try to get Hunter, I think those two will change the complexity of Nebraska basketball as we know it.
Yeah, and of course Sam Griesel did a great job of kind of showing that Husker homegrown Husker pride and really just what Nebraska can do to benefit, maybe to go back and get guys. This isn't hoping that a guy, I don't know what the story has been. Nebraska obviously has had just a broken connection with the Ain State kids, particularly out of Omaha. But you're not taking a risk that, like, hey, maybe we're going to get a guy that might be able to play here. These are proven guys. They've played at big time levels now, and like Latrell averaged like 16, 17 points a game at Cal State Fullerton. Hunter Salas was playing big minutes in the NCAA tournament. Had one of the biggest assists for what it's worth in the NCAA tournament. Played some big defensive minutes. So this isn't. I think the Sam Griesel thing helps, but at the same time, you're not just like you're not picking from high schoolers here and hoping they translate. These are college ready players that can help Nebraska. And of course, the other thing with Nebraska is you're waiting to see if Keisei Tamanaga decides to return. We haven't heard too much from that front. But we will see. And so it's a big weekend for Nebraska recruiting. Obviously, they added, like I said, this week already, a few to their basketball team. So we can start to kind of see that process take shape. The other thing that I thought was interesting, just kind of looking at their scholarships and everybody who they're playing, who they have on scholarship right now, I don't feel like there's any guys that are just kind of, well, that didn't really work, but they can kind of hang around. They've got a whole roster full, and they add these pieces in here too of guys that are going to compete for playing time. Obviously, there's only so many minutes to be given out there, but sometimes in Nebraska basketball history, you look at the end of the bench and you think, well, there's a project, and here's a guy that just didn't work out, but he's a good leader and all that, a good teammate or whatever. I think all these guys are going to be competing.
There ain't no participation points in participating. when you're in competition, it's either first or last, okay? So you better put your best foot forward and do what you're supposed to do out there. Whatever. What is going on in Nebraska football news?
Well, we kind of broke down most of what kind of was going on. There's not a whole lot more today. It was kind of the Tony White press conference yesterday. We can look through the break and see if there's anything that's popping up over since we started the show, but I didn't see too much. But, I mean, here's one thing that we're planning on talking about. I thought Adam Carricker brought up a good question here that maybe we can tease for the next segment. And I know Terrell wanted to get his thoughts on this. Which program, Adam asked, which program has a brighter future, Minnesota's P.J. Fleck or Nebraska's Matt Rule?
That ain't even a question. Listen, it's 93.7 the ticket. I'm at Jackson's Fair Deal, 2118 North 24th Street. And get down here now. We'll be open all day long. I'm with
the Black Shirt
and
Bach.
93.7, the Captain Show.
There's a new way to vacay when you fly LNK. Check out brand new service at the Lincoln Airport to some of America's favorite travel destinations. Catch convenient nonstop flights to Vegas, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Orlando, Austin, Dallas, or Nashville when you fly via Redway. With so many affordable options to choose from, planning your vacation has never been easier. Visit goflyred.com and book today. Flights are public charters offered by Global X Air Tours LLC and operated by Global Crossing Airlines Incorporated.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts at flight. $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mentioned you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-437-1627. Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And one, and two, and three, and four, and one, and two, and three, and four, and one, and two, and three, and four. Break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down. And one, and two, and three, and four, and one, and two, and three, and four, and one, 2, 3, go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I gotta go. I ain't got no more time for y'all. This is packed up in this piece. Hold up. Hold on.
One,
Hold on.
two,
We gotta get ready to go. I gotta get off. You see all these people, they looking at me like he on the radio running his mouth, and we all up in here eating stuff. They talking about we hungry. Hey, so look, I gotta go.
You're fired.
It's been great. Thank you. Hey, it's Friday. I don't know what else to tell you, but the captain gotta go to work. We getting packed up in this piece, y'all. Let me know if you want a job, Terrell.
I'm okay.
All right, Jackson Fair Deal, 2118 North 24th Street. Get down here now for lunch, brunch, dinner, or supper, whichever you want to call it. Breakfast all day, too. No, we don't have breakfast all day. I'm just kidding. Hey, we'll see y'all a little later. We got a couple different specials. Get down here, black shirt. Thank y'all. I'll see y'all Monday.
All right, sounds good.
So, Bach, I'm looking online right now. This article, I don't know if you seen it yet, but it said what to make of negative recruiting trend for Nebraska football. It said a number of recruits on campus recently for Nebraska have committed elsewhere, and others trending in the wrong way. What, you read that?
I haven't read that, but I mean, it sounds like, you know, I don't know if that's they're talking about in-state kids or kind of what.
Well, these are. It said it started last week with Andrew. Who did that? Sprague.
Okay.
He committed to Michigan last week. Sprague visited Nebraska football on the 25th of March weekend, and he's not the only recruit who visited that weekend that has now committed to other programs. Gage Ginter, the number 2 recruit in the state of Colorado, and three-star offensive tackle who also visited that weekend. The next weekend he visited Tennessee, and now he's a volunteer. Making things even worse, in fact, that on Sunday, 3-star linebacker Thomas Herrenberg from South Dakota committed to Wisconsin. All 3 were recruits that I felt like Nebraska was going to have a solid shot with. Now all 3 of those guys are committed.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's a
hold on now.
All right,
now
is there more worse news? More worse news.
Now it says Dylan Raiola is trending the wrong way. There have been multiple crystal balls for Isaiah McMorris to Oklahoma, and over the weekend, Devon Hall, another top 5 5-star in-state, was project to Penn State.
Yeah, the Bellevue West guys are interesting because I think it would be strange if you have 3 of the top 5 kids in the state at Bellevue West and none of them end up coming to Nebraska. as far as those other guys, Nebraska's in the mix. You're not going to land every commit that you bring on campus. It can be frustrating to see some of them go. It's a long way to go. They've got 3 guys in their commit class so far. They're going to need a lot more. I think, especially Nebraska, a place like Nebraska, I think is benefits from the transfer portal. Anything that any shortcoming that you may have in your recruiting class, I think that's going to be available to you. I wouldn't. You never fear too much, obviously, in April for a recruiting class. It's not, you'd rather have some of those guys sign on. But the in-state stuff is what's interesting to me. Kind of like what you're saying with Dave Von Hall there, Isaiah McMorris.
Yeah. Well, they also say recruits have accelerated timelines, and just in the past couple of weeks, 3 of the top 8 quarterbacks in the class of 2024 have committed. Big-time players are coming off the board, and it's possible that Matt Rule and the Huskers need to get more aggressive. Now, it says, I'm trying to explain this negative trend. I really don't get it. Maybe it has something to do with NIL. That certainly hinders Michigan class in 2023, and it could hinder the program if not done right.
Well, and I think back to Matt Rule's first couple of weeks here, everybody wanted to see some action, and they didn't, they weren't getting anything really done in recruiting, and you were kind of worried, and they were kind of setting their foundation in Nebraska and going around to different high schools and stuff, but not getting a whole lot of commits. And then, of course, they rounded out the recruiting class really well. Again, I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think I'll ask Brian Munson when he comes on the Ticket Water Cooler about it. But
last part right here. Now. It said at any rate, Nebraska football class of 2024 isn't off to a great start. There's plenty of time to turn it around, but Rule and the Huskers need to generate some positive momentum.
Well, and of course, Dylan Raiola is the big one there. Like you said, number 1 player in the nation. It maybe not, Nebraska's in a fight for him. I don't know if they're, we call them the leader or maybe they're second place, whatever you want to say. But, it does kind of feel like Georgia but I mean, these things can change from week to week, and they already have. I mean, you'll see him crystal balled. He's been crystal balled to USC before. He's been crystal balled to Georgia. Obviously committed to Nebraska. Crystal balled to Nebraska. Or committed to Ohio State. Crystal balled to Nebraska. Again, I think we can all try to figure out who's in the lead and all that, but I still think Dylan Raiola is taking his time. I don't think that this is a decision that he knows right now.
I think that's probably the bad thing for Nebraska is that you don't put all of your stock in one player. See, if you really need a quarterback, you really need to be recruiting 2 of them. So, I understand that this guy is the number 1 in that class, but we also shouldn't put all our eggs in one basket because, if he doesn't come, then who you look for? I mean, we have quarterbacks here, but I understand just going after him. But what if it don't come? It doesn't happen, and then you're stuck with no quarterback that year. So, if that's a position you really, really want to go after, you should be recruiting 2 of them.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, again, I think with the transfer portal, Nebraska's been able to grab starters out of the portal each of the last 2 seasons. Well, it's kind of brand new. We don't know if that's going to be something you can do year in, year out. But I think the importance of a high school quarterback in each and every class probably drops off a little bit at least at a place like Nebraska, where you are able to get high quality players out of the portal at that position. Now, Dylan's quite an interesting deal, just one way or the other, not just because of quarterback recruiting, but of the interest that he is bringing into Nebraska from other recruits. I think there are probably a few different recruits, and again, talking with Brian Munson before, has said that Willis McGahee IV wanted to come to the spring game to see Dylan Raiola, to see how real that connection might be. A lot of those guys that came in, big-time recruits, that weekend with Dylan Raiola, kind of figured the same type of thing is to see how serious is Dylan about it. Maybe we can all group together and get this thing going. So, I think Dylan is obviously worth enough in his own right as far as what he would bring to the table at quarterback. But as far as gathering together talent, he would be big in that as well. So I don't know if it's a case like you're saying of putting all your eggs in that basket. They're recruiting these guys separately as well, and they I'm sure they got feelers out on some backup plans if they really need to get there. But I think it's too early to panic, and I mean, especially for a class that if you do get Dylan, I mean, you could have a top 10 class here.
Yeah, well, my thing is if that we're so low on the bottom, so low on the well. Here's what I want to say. As I look at other colleges and top ranked teams every year, around this time they usually have 10 commitments. We only have what, 3?
3.
So we're behind the ball on that. And plus these are top players right here. These are players that, I mean, they might open up recruiting again, some might not. But we need to be aggressive of trying to get more than 3 players, committed right now. I mean, if we want to be that program, we got to jump the ball early. We got to make this thing happen. I mean, you sign them to an 8-year contract. We don't have 8 years to wait. So, I'm just saying we already waited 7. So if you're saying 8, that's 15 years, and I'm just saying, but we need to be more aggressive recruiting these kids. I mean, I understand you got a big pipeline in Texas, but you got to make sure that these Texas kids want to come here. You got to make sure that this is the type of football they want to play. I mean, not every kid from Texas will fit up here in this Nebraska atmosphere, because Nebraska is different. I'm just saying, different football wise and different playing wise. I mean, this is a university that is used to winning. So, it's difficult for me to sit there and while we sit back and have only 3 recruits and everybody else is just out recruiting us just off name. And I understand that one of the people on the text lines talked about winning. I mean, that is the formula to getting kids in here, is winning, because no kid wants to come to a losing school. So when you recruit, you gotta recruit kids that want to win, not just want to come to college. That's one of the big things I talk about. We got to get players in here that really know how to play the game of football, really know that can be coached, that can be held accountable, and not just favoritism of who it is or what it is or what they do or where they're from.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, I think that is a big, Ted is the one that pointed that out there on the text line, is, he said how many of those guys are committed to schools with losing records. And I think that, without knowing personally, I think that had to deal with kind of the Ernest Hausman situation. Is like, I feel like, at least it makes enough sense to me. You got the goal of playing for the Nebraska, checked off your list. Maybe go somewhere to play games you're going to play relevant football. Going to put you in a position to make it to the NFL.
Yeah, I think we dropped the ball on Ernest Hausman. I don't think they gave him the right chance. Just because I went to a couple of games and I seen him just sitting there on the sideline. This is a kid that needed to play his first year. He needed to be groomed a little bit, but he needed to play more, and he knew it. They knew it, but they couldn't do it, or they wouldn't do it. So he transferred out. Now, some kid. Now you gotta understand. You got Malachi coming in. And you gotta, do you gotta get? You don't have to give him the special treatment, but this kid probably wants to play early. He might take a red shirt. He probably does want a red shirt. But some kids, you gotta handle them different. And the thing about Dylan Raiola is that I just think he's not wasting our time, but just gonna waste time to see how the season falls out for a lot of teams, and see. And he's really watching the recruiting board, to me, because every school that takes a quarterback, he don't want to go there. So I don't know, like somebody said last week or something. Is it competition wise or what? Well, Lincoln Riley said.
Yeah. Well, and he's got like guys that are probably, we think about that, his situation as far as bringing guys with him along to Nebraska. He's got different guys they're probably lined up to go with him to Georgia or USC, if that's where he goes. You make those connections when you go out and make those visits. So, he's just got a lot to kind of to work with. Obviously for Nebraska, if he commits, the sooner the better, because then you can kind of get that momentum rolling. But he's got to make the right decision for himself. He's already been through the process of making the decision too early and tried to kind of, jump this whole fiasco, I suppose, as some people might see it, by committing to Ohio State, getting that out of the way, knowing where he's going, and learn from that sometimes you can, even if you're trying to do the right thing and trying to do right by the university that you're going to go to, things can change. So I think he's going to take his time. We will see. We'll get an update again from Brian to see if there's anything on that front. But I mean, we've been here before is basically why I'm not too worried about it. Is in the last couple of years, even you've gotten into June without too many commits, and then some of them start rolling. I think right now the primary focus for this team, while you have spring practice, is going to be installation of their offense and defense, and obviously you've got other guys, multiple bodies working out there, so you can get recruiting in there as well. But there's only so much you can do with your time.
Well, just like Dirty Tony and the boys say on the text line, he said Nebraska used to be different. They aren't anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, hopefully Matt Rule brings that back. And again, I think there's still, there is still some, the culture of Nebraska, the fact that it's kind of the show in the state, how important college football is here, that sort of stuff, is still, can be enticing. There are still special parts about Nebraska, but you can't overlook the fact that you haven't been to a bowl game since 2016. You haven't been nationally relevant even before then.
Tim says we have to stop saying we are used to winning. It's been over 20 years since we won.
Well, national titles, but again,
I'll take a 9-3 team like Bo here.
Yeah.
What was that? 2014?
Last time we had them, 2014.
I'll take a 9-3. Frank Solis was 9-3. I know 9-3 to Nebraska is a rebuilding year. That's rebuilding. 9-3.
Well, it used to be. Again, now, not necessarily.
9-3 will get you to a decent bowl game now.
Yeah.
But nothing good. What you got today, Bob?
Well, first of all, just a reminder, 6 out of the last 7 coaches have won 9 games here at Nebraska, including Mike Riley and Bill Callahan. So just because Scott Frost couldn't do it doesn't mean
Mike Riley won 9 games?
Mike Riley won 9 games the second year, yeah.
9 and what?
9-4.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, my bad, Mike Riley.
Well,
my bad, Mr. Rogers.
It went 6-7 and 4-8 outside of that, but yeah. Oh,
it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Ted says Bach pull up the 9-4 song. We have a 9-4 song that we made years and years ago when we were tired of 9-4 records because Bo would either go 9-4 or 10-4, so we just say 9-4, 9-4. Nebraska's gonna go 9-4. Could
Give
be
us our
10-4,
outro,
probably
Bob.
not.
I'm on time.
All right, yeah, we better get you.
I'm on time, Bach. Yeah, I'm not like the cap. All right, everybody. This is the Black Shirt, and I'm out. This is 93.7. What you got today, Bob?
Like I said, Brian Mutson will help us out with some of this recruiting stuff. We always have him on Fridays to get caught up in recruiting. Rico has actually got a very busy day. Him and I will be on the air for plenty of time today.
Please be kind to Rico today on the text line,
Yes.
okay? Rico's got a long day, so we don't want to put any pressure on his little pipe on his head and let it bust.
Yeah, we've got some more basketball recruiting to talk about, NBA stuff as well, but I'm ready to eat my sandwich. I got a 5-minute break here to eat my sandwich, and I'll be ready to go.
All right, man. Y'all have a great day. Use your Friday well and go outside and get you some fresh air. I'm the Black Shirt, Terrell Farley. Go Big Red!
Go Big Red!
This is Lincoln's home for